What is gross domestic product or GDP? GDP refers to the total value of all goods and services produced within a country's borders during a specific period. It measures the economic output of a country. So, why GDP is important? GDP is important because it is an essential indicator of a country's economic health. It also acts as a measure of a country's standard of living. It helps policymakers to make informed decisions about economic policies.
Hello, in this part, I will introduce you how to calculate GDP. There are three main approaches to calculating GDP. First of all, using production approach. The production approach calculates GDP by summing up the value added at each stage of production across all industries. It involves adding up the market value of all final goods and services produced within the country. The formula to calculate GDP using production approach is GDP equals to gross value of output minus value of intermediate consumption. The next is to calculate GDP using expenditure approach. The expenditure approach calculates GDP by summing up the total spending on goods and services by various sectors of the economy. It considers four main components of expenditure, which are consumption, C, investment, I, government spending, G, and net export, S minus M. To simplify the formula for calculating GDP using the expenditure approach is GDP equals to C plus I plus G plus S minus M. So the last one is calculate GDP using income approach. The income approach calculates GDP by summing up all the incomes earned by individuals and business during the production of goods and service. It takes into account employee compensation, self-employment income, corporate profits, and various forms of taxes and subsidies. The formula for calculating GDP using the income approach is GDP equals to compensation of employees plus rents plus interest plus profits plus taxes minus subsidies plus depreciation. So, these are the ways to calculate GDP. That's all from me. Thank you.
Consumer spending. This component represents the total expenditure by individual and household on goods and services, such as food, housing, transportation, healthcare, and entertainment. Investment refers to the spending by business on capital goods, such as machinery, equipment, and structures, as well as residential and commercial constructions. It also includes changes in inventories. Government spending. This component represents the expenditure by the government on public goods and services, including infrastructure, defense, education, healthcare, and administrations. Net export. Net export are calculated by subtracting the value of imports M from the value of export X. If the value of export exceeds imports, it is called a trade surplus, while if import exceeds export, it is called a trade deficit.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aishah binti Azmi, S58232. This is my part GNP. What is GNP? GNP stands for Gross National Product. GNP ensures that the monetary value of all finished goods and service produced by countries' factors of production irrespective of their location. Or in other meanings, GNP is considered the value of commodities offered and service rendered by an individual or company within and outside its native country. For example, it include all tangible items like foods, automobiles, machinery, and service like education, healthcare, financial service, salaried income, and then others.
Okay, next, what about gross domestic product (GDP) and gross national product (GNP) are both widely used measure of a country's aggregate economic output. How about difference with both? GDP measures the value of goods and services produced within a country's borders by citizens and non-citizens alike. But meanwhile, GNP measures the value of goods and services produced by a country's citizens both domestically and abroad.
So, what we can conclude from this presentation is that GDP measures a country's standard of living, economic growth, and productivity. Second one is understanding the components of GDP can help individuals and businesses to make better economic decisions. Comparing GDP to other measures such as GNP can provide valuable insights into a country's economic performance. And the last one is GDP is crucial for understanding the economy.